Welcome to Songtellers, where singer-songwriters break down the meaning behind their songs and perform them live. Today's performer is Tribeandking, a singer and songwriter based out of Dallas who transitioned from a hardcore punk ska band to a folk singer who fell in love with the soulful sounds of the South. He's a proud father and wants to bring a message of hope to anyone who listens. He has released 3 EPs, leading to his full album, Building a Home, available now on all music streaming platforms. This is Tribeandking. On the audio.
Nice.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it, dude. Hold on. I did get these because we're twinning right now, and I was like...
So this is rolling. We're
rolling,
I think
dude.
it's
We're
important
going right
that
now.
everybody listening knows that we did not coordinate.
No, we didn't. We didn't. No.
Black shirt, backwards hat. Let me see. What does your hair look like without that? You got more hair than me.
But no one can tell. I mean, no one can tell us apart. Who's doing the interview? Who's playing here, man?
It was really funny.
That's great, man. So man, thanks for coming today. I heard your stuff and wanted to share with my listeners and talk about your songs, have you perform your songs and your favorite ones, whichever ones you want to do, really, man, and kind of tell a story behind them. So before you start your song, I wanted to find out what you think is the key to writing a good, meaningful song.
Oh man, I bet you're gonna have a ton of really good questions. What's the key to writing a meaningful song? So with songwriting, there's a structure to it. And if you know like music theory, like, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that and blah, 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 blah. And that's true, I feel. Like that's like the skeleton of the song. But you just need to be like true and genuine. And you could probably write a song that's that people like and makes you a ton of money, but is it really like a good song? I don't know, but that's probably why I'm not famous or anything. That's right. Yeah. But like, I just feel like just being really true to yourself. You know, what is it? Is it Rick Rubin, the
big ass producer?
Big producer. He's like, I don't produce for other people. He's like, I do it for myself. And he's like, I'm just really lucky that people like what I like. And that's it. So be true to yourself. All my favorite songs that I've ever written have been about like a moment in my life, whether it was like really joyful or really painful. And it's about that.
Yeah.
I find it hard to write about other things that haven't happened to me. I like, Chris Stapleton could write a song about something that's never really happened to him, and it's a wonderful song. I can't do that. Like, it has to be part of my life, something that I've personally experienced for me to be able to write a song about it.
Right. And you mind bringing that in just a little bit? That might, perfect. Do you feel like that also is the idea of making a timeless song? Because when you think about songs from like from a specific era, or songs that are from an era that you could say are dated, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this song's from the 80s. It's dated. It's got a bit of cheese. Versus the song's from the 80s. I could listen to this in 100 years. What do you think that difference is?
Man, like maybe that's what it is. Like maybe that's what changes it. Like, is it like truly a genuine song?
Yeah.
Or is it something that we can all resonate with?
Right.
You know what? That's a good point. If it's not true and genuine, we don't really resonate with it.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's true and genuine, there's probably people out there that have experienced whatever that person was going through at that time.
Right.
Because there's nothing that's new. There's nothing that I've experienced that somebody in our time hasn't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So maybe that's what it is. Like they're true and they're genuine to it, and then we all resonate with it.
Yeah.
It lasts forever.
Yeah, I think that's true. I want you to play a song. What do you want to start with? What song do you want to play first?
I want to do something new. So back in November, I started going through a divorce. And before that, I was completely sober for 7 years. Then when the divorce happened, I started drinking. I started drinking real heavy. So we're talking about like genuine songwriting and things like that. And right after the divorce, I was like heavy into drinking every single day.
So you were clean sober for 7 years?
Completely sober for 7 years. When I found out I was having a daughter, I sold my motorcycle and I stopped drinking. I'm like, all right, I should probably not.
So your daughter's 7?
She's 7.
So is mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, man.
That's awesome.
What are your other kids' ages?
So she's 7, born in 2017 in July, and then Luke's 5. He was born 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The 1 and 1, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Done. We're done now.
So I was a complete idiot in my younger years. I'm sure especially boys.
Yeah.
We're idiots
for sure.
Yeah. So that was like when I started like wising up. So completely sober for 7 years. Divorce happens around November, and I just start drinking. And it's heavy, and I just man, I just remember one night I felt bad a lot, but I felt bad that I had like lost my sobriety. Like it was like a tangible thing that's like, it's gone now. And,
how long did that last when you, like from when you started drinking to when you decided, like when you started back up drinking in November or whatever?
Like, before I wrote the song, you mean?
Or after? Yeah. Before you wrote the song.
Man, it was probably like 3 months because I was drinking so much. And I just remember, I don't really remember exactly how the song was written because I was probably drinking, but I just remember like in my head, like the line was like 7 years and now I'm wasted again. You know, I was drinking and I was wasted, just wasting not even just wasted like with alcohol, like I was wasting my life away. I wasn't doing anything. All I was doing was just working, drinking. And on the days that I had my daughter, like, which we do 50-50 on the days I had my daughter, like I was completely focused on her. But if she wasn't around, I was drinking and it's literally wasting my life away. And so I was like, man, like 7 freaking years, man. And now I'm just wasted again. And so that kind of line stuck with it. And then the next day, you know, I sober up and I'm fine. But I was like, you know, like I need to write a song, like I lost my friend or something like that, because that sobriety was like a big part of my life and I loved it. And maybe I will eventually go back to just complete cold turkey. Like I'm much better now. I had time to heal, and you know, I only drink when I'm like with friends or something like that. But still,
yeah,
it was like I lost a loved one almost. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to just write a song for her.
Yeah.
Her or him or whatever it is, if I'm going to personify sobriety. But yeah, like it felt bad. I'm like, I need to honor that 7 years of what I did, and I'm going to write a song about it. And so,
and how do you, a lot of people who drink and then get sober, it's like an all or nothing thing.
Totally.
So how have you been able to find kind of balance with being able to
moderation
with it? Yeah. How are you able to moderate that?
Well, you know, knowing my worth and my value and just healing was a big part of that. Cause, man, I didn't want to think, didn't want to feel. So I was just went deep into it. But when I started to like go through the healing process, so what month is it now? October. So almost a year. I mean,
yeah,
you know, 11 months, whatever the math is on that. I'm not good at math. Where's the camera? I'm not good at math. And so I had enough time to heal, and, you know, some truths came out that I was able to process that I really, really needed. And once I processed those, man, I was just like, you know, I don't really need it. And so now I can just do it because I want to have fun. You know, like a friend wants to go have drinks. I want to relax for a little bit one night. So to answer that in an easy sentence, yeah, like once I healed and I figured out my worth and my own value, I didn't need it anymore.
Right.
And now I can just do it just for something.
That's great, man. That's great. Awesome. So this song's called 7 Years, I imagine?
7 years.
All right, let's hear it, man.
Yeah. And you'll edit out the part where I'm like changing things and making.
Oh, this is it. This is all going. This is all going in.
You gotta make me look cool.
Yeah.
Need all the help I can get. Gone. 7 years are gone, and now I waste it again. Tasted the sweeter side of self-control, fading past, her name was alcohol. Shackles busted, little did I know, I'm tied up in knots, 100 miles from home. 7 years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I waste it again. How I wish it wasn't so. The relapse came and now I'm cold as stone. I heard my name, shadows that have thrown from the days that I thought were gone. 7 years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. Yeah, 7 years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. The proof's in the bottle, never gets me through long enough to ever know the truth. 7 years gone, 7 years gone, and now I wasted again. Yeah, 7 years gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. Yeah, 7 years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. Yeah, 7 years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. Seven years are gone, 7 years are gone, and now I wasted again. And I can't wait to break these chains I'm in.
Wow, that was great, man. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Love that song. That's. Do you find it hard to stay as creative? I mean, this is a great personal song that speaks to you that spoke to you when you needed to write something to let it out. Do you find it as you've gotten older that it's harder to express yourself creatively than it was when you're younger? I know for me, it was. For me, it has been. It's like bands too, that have their whole lives to write their music. And especially when they're younger, teenage years, you have this kind of sense of wonderment about the world and everything like that. Yeah. And then as you get older, you get maybe more disillusioned, more jaded, more cynical. I don't know, and it's harder to find an outlet for it, or you maybe become less angsty, I guess, and have less to write about. So what are your thoughts on that?
Man, what a good question. This reminds me of like hot ones, like the questions, like they're really like, you don't expect
without the hot sauce.
Yeah. Without the hot sauce. Really good questions. I think about this stuff. I think about it. I think about this stuff often. Like when you're a kid, you don't really care so much about what people think. Yeah. You're angstier, you're just whatever it is, like we're more carefree so we can be more creative. And then when you get older, you get jaded, you start to care like what people think, and you're like maybe like almost embarrassed, like, oh, I don't want to be like creative and unique because these people might care what I think. So I absolutely thought I went through that phase because I was in punk bands all growing up, believe it or not, like nothing to do with folk or acoustic. I was up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're punk, we're crazy, we're alcoholics, we're in fights, all this crazy stuff. And like it doesn't really matter. And then I start to grow up, I get like good jobs and stuff. And then I'm like, well, I can't really do that. And then I really just stopped doing music altogether for a long time. And so when I picked it up again,
how long is a long time? How long were you out for?
Man, probably like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I moved down to Texas about 15 years ago and started falling in love with like the soulful singer-songwriter folky music. I'm like, I'm going to pick this up. But yeah, it was definitely a transition because I was like, man, I haven't been creative in a while. And yeah, I guess you get embarrassed about what people are going to think about it.
Yeah.
And then you just have to get reused to doing it again. But now I don't care what people think anymore.
Right. Yeah. You get past that age, you don't care anymore.
Yeah. That's what happened. Like,
yeah,
you don't care, and then you get old, and then you do care, and then you get super old,
and you don't give a shit anymore.
I
don't give a shit.
So like maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I think jaded or just caring what people think, and then you have to just let that all go.
Yeah. When you're writing a song, are you making the lyric fit the melody, or will you kind of find a melody you think it's like the catchy chorus and then build a lyric around that?
I think it goes both ways. I'll definitely write some songs. I have a melody in my head and then I write it from there. Other times, because I like poetry, so I'll just write something. It doesn't even have to fit into any like rhythmic pattern. I just want to do something that's creative and unique. And then of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, hopefully I can turn this into a song later. And so that does happen. I'll write a really cool poetry and I'll take the lines and the lyrics that make sense to me the most, because the poem will be like real long. You have to condense it down to something that can fit in 3.5 minutes. That's all us as Americans can handle in a song.
Right.
And so I take that and then you have to like reword it and then restructure it to fit. But yeah, so sometimes I'll have the lyrics that are written and I think they're really beautiful lyrics. I'm like, all right, let's make this fit into a song. Then you have to force that melody out.
Right.
And then other times I just grab a guitar and start playing like a chord progression and start humming things or like babbling words that don't make sense. You're literally just blah, blah, blah. And then
just to find that melody or that hook kind of
you're
thing.
Like, oh, that word sounds good.
Yeah.
And then write it around there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll also take that process and I'm like, all right, so I have this melody that sounds good and have these kind of like some structures. And then I'll go look at some of my old lyrics and be like, hey, can this fit in there?
Yeah.
And then it might not even be that exact poem or what that meaning was, but like, oh, hey, this line means something. And then it spurs you to go in another direction.
Right. These inception lyrics that veer you off towards the path. That's cool. You want to play another one for us?
Yeah.
Let's do another one, man.
I'm going to do a new one. It's called Everything Is Changing. And this was kind of a song that I wrote kind of near the end of like when things were painful for me in the divorce. And I started realizing like, oh, it really isn't bad. It's just different. You know what I mean? Things are different. Like my ex-wife was not around. My kid's only around half the time. And I wrote it when like during an empty home, like when she was at her mom's or whatever that weekend. And like, you know what? Like, it's not horrible. It's just not what I'm used to. It's like a song of hope. So like I was kind of nearing that end of the tunnel. Like I was in a tunnel of despair for a while. And I was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And then when I finally got to the end of the tunnel, I'm like, okay. So all that to say, I feel like I'm rambling. All that to say, like, this is a song that I wrote like when things started to finally like make sense. But like, all right, it's different and it's changing, but everything is fine.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Let's try it. So I don't think anybody's actually heard this song yet.
That's great, man. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, so it's not recorded. Man, I think I've tested it out like at shows and stuff like that. My heart was on fire. Your love was a flame. So let it burn through the night, burn through the ages, through the storm, let it blaze. My heart may be crying, you won't see it in my face. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do for his saving grace. Everything is changing, but everything is fine. It's just a bump in the road, a change to our home, a challenging time. Emotions are raging, but the feelings just ain't right. It's just a chemical change, brain waves rearrange. So keep up the fight, 'cause you can't ask for perfect all the time. Everything won't be fine. Sometimes it may be lonesome, but it really ain't that bad. Some time to myself for my better health, so I can be a better dad. Everything is changing, but everything is fine. It's just a bump in the road, a change to our home, a challenge in time. Emotions are aging, but the feelings just ain't right. It's just a chemical change, brain waves rearrange. So keep up the fight. You can't ask for perfect all the time. Everything won't be fine. Everything is changing, but everything is fine. It's just a bump in the road, a change to our own, a challenge in time. Emotions are aging, but the feelings just ain't right. It's just a chemical change, brain waves rearranged. So keep up the fight, 'cause you can't ask for perfect all the time. You can't ask for perfect all the time. It'll never be perfect all the time. Everything will be fine.
All right, man. That was great. Thanks a lot. That was really good.
Yeah.
I want to rewind back the clock and talk about when you first got into music. What was like was there a pivotal moment when you were like, I want to do music. This is what I want to do. Do you remember that moment?
Oh man, I was so young, man.
Yeah.
Like, we were like this horrible punk band. Actually, it's funny. My drummer from that old punk band lives with me now.
Nice. That's great.
I think, man, I'm really going back. I went to my grandpa's house and my cousin had a Stratocaster electric guitar. I'm like, that's so cool. My cousin was like the cool guy that wore like the 60-inch bottom pants and Jinkos and stuff like that. Like, I thought he was the coolest. He had an electric guitar. And I played Nirvana, It Smells Like Teen Spirit or whatever. And I was like, I think this is so cool. And then I think that might have been like the start of everything. But Lord, who knows, man? Because I was like listening like to Metallica growing up. Like, I remember my buddy brought a cassette and like he had to like hide it from all of our parents and stuff like this. Like, man, we're going to go listen to this cassette. I'm like, what the heck is it? It's Metallica, dude.
Yeah. Or I guess more importantly, when you knew you're like, I want to play music. This is what I want to do, kind of a thing.
Oh man, when I knew I wanted to play music, that's such a hard freaking thing. I literally have no clue.
And it could have been that for me.
No, probably a slow, gradual process.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a defining moment?
I do. I was on the phone with a buddy who had JJ Weiss. It was in 7th grade, and I was big into Weezer's Blue album.
Nice.
And there was that song "Say It Ain't So," and he started playing it, and I'm like, this sounds exactly like the song. Like, I'm like, how are you doing this? What is it? What is this?
What is this magic
this
that you're
wizardry?
doing?
Yeah. And then after that, I was hooked. I got a guitar and I just started learning, and I was just, I was self-teaching. He was teaching me, and I started to get a teacher. But yeah, that moment, that was that call. We were on the call. I just remember vividly, man, on a landline. It was just, I heard it, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, what else can you play? And
he played it over the phone?
Yeah, we're just talking over the
like
phone.
Like an old phone, too.
Yeah,
like
those old school phones. I'm just like,
oh, man,
this is amazing.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And so I'd get him to just play song after song after song that he knew, and I was like, holy crap, I want to learn this, I want to learn that, I want to learn that. So yeah, that's what started it for me for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you center your songs around the guitar when you're writing a song? Do you incorporate any other music or any other instruments as the main production element? Because I did read that you do a lot of produce a lot of your own stuff.
Dude. So anything that you hear of mine is produced in my home, just like this cool setup that you got here too. So yeah, it 100% starts with acoustic guitar. So I have like my keys player, Shaquan Ross, so good. But yeah, when the song starts, it's heavy acoustic guitar because I want to be able to go out there and play the song live, and have it sound reminiscent of that recording.
Yeah. I think it's a true test too, because if you take any well-written song, any great song, timeless song, you can strip it down with a piano and a guitar and play it, and it's going to sound great.
That's my favorite type of stuff.
Yeah.
I like when folks have like the fully produced version of a song, but also just release the acoustic only. I've been doing that for folks that come to my studio. There's another plug. Am I allowed to plug all these people?
Plug,
right?
Man, plug it away.
So Rudy Gonzalez, another guy, man, like I met him at like a songwriter thing. I'm like, these are really good songs, dude. Like, what kind of content do you have? He's like, I don't have anything right now. I'm like, what? Had him come to my house, recorded a song for him, and we did the fully produced version of a song. It's called Forever Love, and really, really cool. And then I think it's called Forever Love. Sorry, Rudy, if I said the name of the song wrong.
You can let me know.
Forever Dance. Oh yeah,
Forever Dance.
Forever Dance. Sorry. Edit that out. No, you gotta leave that in there.
No, leave it all in there.
But and then we're just gonna also just put the acoustic version of that too. And I love that stuff when it's just a good song and you can hear the full produced version because everybody wants that, but also be able to get just acoustic guitar vocals. Like,
it's true test of a good song.
Yeah, and I actually just did that. I just put out an EP the other day of some of my favorite songs from my album Building at Home, and I just put out acoustic piano vocals, nothing else.
Nice. And
I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I just wanted people to be able to hear the songs like with nothing.
That's great, man. So you're tracking, you're mixing, you're mastering, you're doing kind of...
Don't do the mastering.
Don't do the mastering.
I'll send the mastering off, but like as for like the recording, tracking, and mixing, I'll do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. That's a lot of hats to wear.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'll do most of the instruments. The only instrument I won't do would be like keys. I don't know how to play the piano. I wish I did. But drums, bass, guitar, vocals, backing vocals, all that stuff, like I'll go ahead and I'll lay down myself.
So you've got a kit set up at your house as well and everything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I've seen some pretty sick, some amazing sounding digital. Like, just the
you
kits.
can program that stuff?
Oh man.
I'll use that too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'll definitely use that too.
Yeah.
But I also don't have I don't have like Nashville music. You know what I mean? I'm not using like a big freaking drum sounds.
Right.
Very basic stuff like brushes on a snare or something like that.
Right. That's great, man. Really cool. Are you writing songs for you 100%? Or is there part of that you're writing for other people?
I would say it's just for me.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's anything that you wanted people listening to your songs to take out of it, what would that be?
Yeah, like I have my own personal beliefs, like I believe in God and Christ and all that stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I listen to is faith-based, but I make no attempt of being in that realm. That's just what I believe, But I also want like any of these songs, like to just be a beacon of hope to anybody that's listening, whether they believe in the same thing that I believe in or not. Like there's hope in these songs because it gave me hope. Like it gave me a lot of healing along my process during really difficult seasons. So, there's just listen to the stuff and get hope from it, and just
there's a lot of catharsis to them. There's a lot of like you move forward from them and use them in a positive way. You know what I mean? A lot of songs can be very dark.
Yeah. But
these have definitely all three that you've played have a hopeful message. And I think anybody who's dealing with any kind of addiction can relate to that first song for sure. I mean, wholeheartedly. So I think anything that's going to help anybody deal through with their problems.
Totally.
And like you said, we're all the same. We're all dealing with the same problems.
Yep.
That can help even just one person outside of yourself. I mean,
Totally,
hell, that's
man.
great, man.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your music today, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
This is
really
fun,
appreciate
dude.
it. This is great.
The podcast is really good. I'm telling you, like really, really good.
Thanks,
I think
man.
Top notch, 100%. Like, wish you the best with it. Like, and I think you'll get something really good out of it.
I
too.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. That's great. That's
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
It's good that we dressed alike too.
Yeah.
So
I know, right? Or that we should compare wardrobes.
we could like switch shirts and stuff.
I
It'll be
know,
all
right?
right. We're good to go.